What's going on, everyone? It's Tay, aka Slay, and I thank you for joining me today. First things first, if I sound congested as hell, I am. I somehow caught a cold over Labor Day weekend. I feel slightly less close to death than I did on Tuesday, and I'm glad because I really need my energy to make this video. And also, I have my fan on. It's still summer, and we don't believe in central air in New York City unless you're amongst the rich. So, I apologize if that bothers you. Now, it has been quite the roller coaster ride in the beauty community this last 3-4 weeks, has it not? I mean, first you had the Jeffree Star docuseries, then Gabriel Zamora and his tweet, and then Laura Lee's racist tweet, the Snapchat of Manny MUA talking about when your Uber driver doesn't speak English, and then making the face behind the girl's back at a meet and greet. Nikita talking about children and abuse and things like that. Then the whole Jaclyn Hill fiasco with the vault and the brushes, and then Marlena speaking out, Jen Gerard speaking out, and we must uplift small creators. I'm a baby channel in every sense of the word. Like, I just made my first beauty video on Sunday, but I've been following the beauty community and the drama community for the last 2 years, honestly. So I have some thoughts to share on this whole Peter Monn thing. And I was inspired by Smokey Glow and her whole Get Ready With Me, My Thoughts series. I decided to call my series Makeup Musings. So I'm going to test the makeup that I want to wear tomorrow. It is New York Fashion Week. Makeup Shayla is in town and she is hosting a meet and greet, which I RSVP'd to. So I'm getting up at the ass crack of dawn to go meet this woman. So I'm going to attempt to do the look that I think I'm going to do tomorrow morning. So let's get started. I did not see the original batch of tweets, but I did see Beauty with Ashley's video about them before she privated them. And I was like, yeah, that's not great. And then I saw, I didn't watch his video. The first video he put out. Because I was like, okay, he's sorry, whatever. Then, the second batch of problematic tweets was released. And then his second apology was released. And I have some thoughts on his apology. Now, I knew nothing about Peter Monn until last Christmas when John Cuckian was out here with his foolishness and fuckery trying to destroy this man's life. Pardon me. And I sided with Peter. I honestly did. Like, I knew nothing about the man, but I was like, this is wrong. You have this person who probably has never met this man in person, slandering his name all up and down the internet, could ruin his life, ruin his career, take away his livelihood. Like, what are you doing? So I put blue hearts under every video that he uploaded. I was like, hashtag I stand with Peter. I was all about it using Benefit Goof Proof brow pencil. This is one of my faves. You will see it again and often. But I watched Peter's videos off and on. Like, the ones that I chose to watch, like, I watched one video that moved me particularly was the one he did after Thomas Halbert threw a fit about nobody watching his I do my makeup in a $70,000 car. And Thomas was like, well, do they want me to talk about my body dysmorphia and my eating disorders? And Peter was like, yeah, people want relatable YouTubers. And just the way that he talked to him like a mentor, like a trusted family member, in a lot of ways, I could see how Peter is so endearing, how it's so easy to fall in love with this person. And when all the shit started going on in the beauty community, he's always the first one to be like, listen, I'm I've said some stuff I'm not proud of. We all have. And I did a whole podcast episode a few months ago titled, All Your Faves Are Problematic and So Are You. I'll spill a little tea on myself later about my problematic ass. Funny thing is, you won't see any of it online. But I was really riding for Peter. Not saying I hate him now. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I do have some issues with the way that he's approaching these things. And yeah, I am upset at the things that were said. Now, yes, he was a grown-ass man when he said these things. And people are allowed to think the way they think, but some of these things, like, damn, dude, you really used to think like that? My first issue, let me start off by talking about this. I am not one of those people who is going to go on Twitter and roast any drama channel that I follow for not talking about this. Because I know that they feel obligated to. Like Ashley Kyle, I just started following her. She's like, I've been so conflicted. I've never been more conflicted about a video in my life. If I do it, I'll look like a disloyal friend, something like that. And if I don't do it, I'll look like a hypocrite. And I just tweeted, listen, do what feels right to you in your soul. And 9 times out of 10, I know the drama channels that I follow, and a few of them follow me back. They know they need to say something. But I know it's much harder because it is your friend. You have to approach it differently than when it's just somebody, especially somebody you don't like. But when it's somebody that you've never met, never had an interaction with, it's a lot easier to tell them that they fucked up. But when you have to look somebody you consider a friend or a family member in the eye and be like, you know you fucked up, right? Like, I tried to watch Tawny Michelle's video. I love Tawny. But let me address her right quick. She said that there's a witch hunt going on. Baby girl, no. Do you think if there was really a witch hunt going on, Jackie Aina, with her 2.6 million subscriber having ass, would have had any dirt on her brought up, because people are still waiting for her to apologize to Paige. If there was a witch hunt, anybody with more than 2 subscribers on YouTube would have all their shit out there. The point blank period. That's honestly what I believe. I know, however, why she was stressed in her video, because you could tell. I could tell by her video, I could tell by Beauty by Ashley's video, I could tell by Dustin Daly's video. All of them look stressed as hell. And again, I know, because it's hard. This is their friend they have to talk about. And they were all disappointed. Like, how could somebody that I looked up to, how could somebody that I loved so much, so I need to be getting ready. How could somebody I love so much say this despicable shit? But they were stressed, not just because of that, but because everybody, like, I saw threads on their TLs, like, how you are such a fucking hypocrite. If it was anybody else, you would have had a video up yesterday. But because it's your friend, you want to sit back and be like, I need to have all the facts. I was like, is that necessary? I really don't think it is. Like, do I expect them to speak on it? Yeah. Because there is a bit of, for lack of a better phrase, there's a bit of journalistic integrity. So I do expect them to speak on it. But do I expect them to drag him? I do expect them to be firm with him. But I don't expect them to drag him for filth. I don't expect that at all, because that's their friend. And I honestly don't think anybody else should expect it either. I was particularly disgusted by something I saw on Dustin's thread, where people were like, oh, you're a privileged white man, so you don't know how offended, so it's not your place to be offended. Okay, here's the thing. It is okay if you are not a member of a community to speak up for the community. That's called being an ally. Okay? Like, I am not gay. but I am a member of several gay straight alliances. I am a member of the Gay Geeks of New York. On my main channel, I made a whole video about the Pulse shooting. There's a way to be an ally, and it's an ally's duty to speak the fuck up when something fucked up happens. Let me just say that. So Dustin doesn't have to be a person of color to be offended. However, he did state that his grandmother is Asian. So it's like... Not that anybody could, with half a brain, would assume that right away. But it's like... I can't with people. Like, people are so brave behind a keyboard. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so I'm gonna end that part because I don't have any. I'm not gonna go after people and be like, "How dare you? You're a hypocrite." Just let them deal with it the way they need to deal with it, okay? Because I will give you an example. My best friend is my heart and soul. Like, I would go crazy without this man, okay? He is a gay man, and he started dating somebody 13 years younger than him. When a friend of mine who I've only hung out with twice started lusting after Tom Holland after he just turned 21, and this man is damn near 30, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I had no problem telling him about the problem that I had with him thirsting for a man that much younger than him. But when it came to my best friend, your girl had to have a shot of liquid courage to be like, I do not support this. I'm telling you this because I'm your best friend and I know the kind of relationship you want. This is not going to be right for you. It was much harder for me to tell my bestie than it was telling a dude I'd only hung out with twice. So try to calm down. I know you want the drag. I want the drag. Not specifically for Peter, but that's why we all tune into drama channels. We love the tea. We love to sip the hot tea with the sugar sprinkled in it, the sass. But sometimes it's harder to do that when it's somebody who's close to you. You feel me? Now, let me not block my face. Now, the problem that I have with some of what past Peter tweeted, the use of the term ghetto. You may walk around in certain neighborhoods or the hood and hear people say something is ghetto. The problem with that, and I'll get into it a little bit later when I talk about another term, is that if you're not a member of a community, if you're not a member of that community, if it comes out of your mouth, you're wrong to use that term. And also, there is more than one definition of ghetto. It doesn't just mean poor black neighborhood. During the Holocaust, while the concentration camps were being built, the cities that the Jews were hoarded into were called ghettos. So we need to remember certain things where we're using certain terms. Okay? Thank you. Can't just be throwing shit out willy-nilly nowadays. Or ever, honestly. So there's that. So while I'm there, let me go ahead and talk about reclaimed words. There were several tweets where Peter used the F word, the vulgar slur for homosexuals. As I've said, I have a lot of gay friends, member of Gay Geeks of New York. I've been in many a gay club in New York City. I've been to many a drag brunch, many a drag show. I've helped drag queens paint. I've helped get drag queens into corsets. I've hooked some of my gay friends up. Like, all up in the community. Okay? I have been in gay clubs where a queen or a host has come out and opened the night by saying, "What's up, F's?" Now, as a straight woman, I know that that is not my word to use. It still makes me feel uncomfortable to hear somebody say that, because I know that word is meant to demean and dehumanize. However, members, and I actually commented this on Panic Antics video about Peter Monn, people from marginalized groups often take words that were meant to demean and dehumanize them, and they will reclaim them in order to give them a new meaning, to show people outside of that community, you can't hurt us. Like, look at what happened with the word bitch. Meredith Brooks came out with that song in, like, what, 96, 97? Now you got people out here who are proud to say, "I'm a bad bitch." But if a man calls a woman a bitch, he about to catch these hands. So it is only for people who are members of the community that have reclaimed that word to use that word. That is how I feel about it. There are people who believe that black people who use the N-word with the A at the end, truth tea, I had to unsubscribe and unfollow Nady because he was one of those, if it's wrong for one group to say the word, then nobody should be able to say the word. And I actually sent him videos, and I think there were the ones that were similar to the ones that Gabriel linked about the history of the word and why it is used by the black community, but why it is not for people outside of the black community to use. I don't know if he's ever watched those videos, but... And then, like, because he never responded to my tweets, and then he was just like, "Oh, everybody's offended by everything." And I'm like, you know what? You're not willing to learn, so I can't with you anymore. But, and there is that thing where people were like, "Oh, but my friends let me say this word." Your friend does not speak for the entirety of that community. Like, I'm pretty sure that I have friends who are like, "Oh, it's all right if you call me an F." I'm still not going to do it because I could call you that. But let somebody that doesn't know me hear that, I'm likely to get my ass beat. Like, that's point blank, period. I am not one of those black people who says the N-word. I don't feel a need to, but I'm not going to stop anybody else who looks like me from saying that word. Just so I am not going to scold Peter for using that word. Because I'm sure there are people who got upset for Azalea Banks using that term when she was getting kicked off a flight. And it's like, but she's a bisexual woman. Like, she's a member of the community, so I'm not going to tell another community what words that they have reclaimed to use or not. So that's that on that. I don't know if I'm going to get much makeup done today because I'm really heated about this, but the other main problem that I had was when I saw the tweet about abortion. That, I have severe issues with that. Because what that tweet did was perpetuate the stereotype that any girl that wants an abortion, any woman who goes seeking an abortion, is just some silly girl that got drunk at a party and oops, didn't protect herself, so it's her fault she felt pregnant. She should have protected her. No. Absolutely not, sir. No. My heart broke when Panic Antics told her story. If I remember to, I will link her video down below. But there are so many reasons for a woman to seek abortion. I'm gonna get personal for a second. I could have been aborted. Okay? I am a child of adoption. I was put up for adoption the second I was born. My mother had to make 4 very hard choices. My mother was a drug addict. Something you know something about, huh? You've struggled with sobriety, so you know that when you are in the midst of addiction, whether it be drugs, alcohol, sex, food, shopping, when you are in the thick of that addiction, you do not make the best decisions at all. You may have a few moments of lucidity, but most of the time, your mind is focused on where you're going to get your next fix and how you're going to get it. Whether, like I said, whether it be alcohol, drugs, shopping, food, sex, work, whatever. So, my mother became pregnant. I just screwed up. My mother became pregnant. When she told my biological father that she was carrying me, he left her. I don't know if this man was just some guy that she was having sex with to get her drugs. Like, I don't know if he was her supplier. I don't know if they were in a romantic, committed relationship. I don't know my biological father. I met my biological mother and my brothers in 2009. My biological mother died September 22nd, 2017. I'm coming up on the year anniversary of her death. My mother, when she realized that she had been left by the person that in whatever haze she was in, she believed cared about her enough to give herself to, when he left her life, she had to make the choice. She knew she couldn't care for me. So she had the choice whether to get rid of me or to give me away. She chose to give me away. She had to make the decision to choose to keep a child in her body while addicted. She had to make the choice to carry that child to term. She had to make the choice to give me away after being a part of her for 9 months. Then she made the choice for me to never have contact with her. My record was sealed, and all I wanted was to get the medical history, because I wanted to know what I was susceptible to. And we chose to actually have a relationship. I had that woman in my life for 7 years. No, 8 years. I had her in my life for 8 years before she died. My mother, the woman that I knew as the only mother I had in this world until I was 10, when she told me that I was adopted, she became pregnant with my brother at 18. The man that she was with, my mother had no self-esteem. The man that she was with promised her that he would love her forever, that he was going to take care of her, and my mom believed him because she was not strong enough in herself to know what real love was. When she became pregnant, she was on her own. So she too had to make the choice. She chose to keep my brother, raised him with the help of my great-grandmother, whom my mother was already supporting. Yes, my mother's made different choices, but my mother, the woman who raised me, she died December 6th of 2017. I lost both of my mothers last year. Both of my mothers had extremely hard lives, and both had to make that dangerous and life-changing decision whether to terminate a pregnancy or carry a child to term. What we're not going to do is perpetuate the stereotype that any woman who is seeking abortion was irresponsible. That is not the case. I really hope, I don't know if Peter Monn is ever going to see this video. I truly hope that if he does, I'm going to speak directly as if I'm speaking to Peter. I truly hope that if you have changed, you see how ignorant that thought pattern is. And that you truly have decided to change your idea. Because we now have a judge on his way to being confirmed to join the Supreme Court who threatens Roe v. Wade, which would limit or completely terminate access to safe, healthy abortions for women. So do you see how despicable that is? I hope you do, and I truly hope that you try to better yourself there, because that's disgusting. Point blank, period, it's disgusting. The main problem... You know what? I'm just going to stop trying to do my makeup because I'm too upset. The main problem that I had with Peter's video was him saying, if you expect me to say I'm sorry, you're not going to get it. Because his father told him, you don't mean I'm sorry. You just want me to forget what you did. The reason your father said that to you was because he felt that you were not genuinely remorseful for whatever it was that you had done wrong in his eyes. That's why he didn't want to hear sorry. It's not that the words were inherently empty because they were there. It's because there was no remorse behind the words. See, I have dated men who have said, I will never say I miss you because I don't miss people. But I need to hear those words. I've been in people's lives who say, I don't say I love you because words are just words. Yeah, words carry weight. We need to hear you say, I'm sorry, because we need to see genuine remorse. Using your father and what he told you when you were 8, 9, 10, whatever, is not an excuse. You need to say the words, I am sorry, and show genuine remorse. We have hounded Jeffree Star to get him to make an entire video just to say the words, I am sorry. Every day I see Jackie Ina on an Instagram post or on Twitter, you have people still, all these months later, still going after her. When are you going to make a video saying, I am sorry to Petty Page? Words carry weight, Peter. I didn't mean to get so heated, but as empathetic and as good-natured as I know you are, now is definitely the time to show that and to show remorse. Show the emotion that you showed all those months ago when John Cookie came to fuck your entire shit up. I cried with you. I didn't even know you. I watched videos by people who had 10 subscribers talking about I stand with Peter Monn because I felt so bad. And then there's a reason that people believed Gabriel Zamora's apology and felt that Laura Lee's apology was shit, because we could feel and see the genuine remorse from Gabriel. We knew that he was truly sorry for his actions. Laura, you did not see or feel that in her video. That is what the difference is. Again, he may never see this. He's already made another video. He may never address these tweets again. But words carry weight, and you need to say, I am sorry. And I hope, if I continue to follow you, because right now I'm on the fence, for the reasons that I've just laid out. If I continue to follow you, I need to see that growth, because you're not in all of our DMs. You're not on all of our phones laughing and kikiing. We don't all know you, even though we watch your vlogs, we watch all of your channels. We feel like we know you, but certain people are closer to you and know the real you. We need to see the growth and the change from these tweets. And I hope that you have taken the steps to change your mindset and to become a better person. Please show some genuine remorse. That's all I really have to say. I'm probably not going to edit this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave your comments down below. There are a million beauty channels you could have checked out today. I thank you for coming to slay.